Friday the 5th. You're listening to the sports show about nothing. Got your humble host Ricky D in the house, man. My co-host Bars ain't here today. We're going to have a great show. You're in tune for a great show today. We're going to do something new today. We're going to talk about NBA, Steph Curry with his 51 points Wednesday night. We're going to get into these picks. Cam. And they say it's Cam against Peyton, but we all know that it's actually Cam versus this Denver defense. And it's Peyton versus this Carolina defense. Kuechly, Davis, Norman on one side. You got Miller, Ware, Talib, Harris on the other side. It's going to be a great Super Bowl, people. A lot of people think that Panthers are going to blow them out. I don't see it that way. Denver too good. It's not going to be what occurred 2 years ago when Denver went against Seattle. They have the experience now. It's going to be totally different. So just wait. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm trying to see where the party's at. I'm trying to get invited to go somewhere and eat. We're going to see what to look at. We're going to play this music right quick, man. We're going to come back and we're going to dive into this. We got a great show for you today. This is the sports show about nothing. We're back. You're not listening to the sports show about nothing. It's your humble host, Ricky D, in the house once again. And we're going to dive into these, the predictions. It's a 60-40. When you overall do the ratings on the predictions that we are seeing from ESPN, NFL Network, CBS, NBC, ABC, all the media outlets are predicting on the Super Bowl that it's a 60-40 ordeal where you have the Broncos at 40% chance of winning. You got the Carolina Panthers at 60% chance of winning. Let's dive into some of these matchups. Cam, the key to the game, in my humble opinion, and I'm picking the Panthers, by the way, but I'm not saying that Denver don't have a chance to win. Any given Sunday, anybody can win. Injuries, anything can happen. Turnovers, penalties, special teams with the kickers, anything can happen. But the key to the game that I see for the Panthers winning the game is the offensive line. When they get Cam the time, the protection to drop back and throw the ball, because I think Denver is going to be key in the end on shutting down the run, Jonathan Stewart. Which I think Stewart is a good back, but I don't think Stewart is a great back. He plays good with Cam. He's not a Marshawn Lynch that Russell Wilson has. So we're going to see. He's not DeMarco Murray that the Cowboys have. So we're going to see if that running game, Denver can stop the running game. And I think they can. So I think the matchup is going to be Khalil, the center, Michael Orr on the end against either Von Miller or Ware, because I'm quite sure they're going to rotate those guys out left and right. So that's going to be the key matchup for me. And we're going to see how that works with that. If I had to, like I said, I'm picking Carolina, so if I just had to just see who's going to win the matchup, I say Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware is going to get their share of plays. But I think overall, Cam versatility is just, he's going to dominate the field. I can see him running easily for 100 yards. Because once the line breaks down, you're not going to be able to hold the containment. So we're going to see. You also have the receivers, and I give that's a strength I give to the Broncos defense, because I think they have the best secondary, and I think they're able to shut Philly Brown down and Jeremy Cottrell from Birmingham, Jericho Cottrell from Birmingham. You have Fetches. I think the secondary for Denver is going to shut that down. Olsen is another key, but that's a positive for Carolina. Because I see Olsen go on for 80 yards. I don't see him cracking 100 because they're going to be keying him all day. You got the Brandon Marshall, not the New York Jets Brandon Marshall, but the Brandon Marshall of the Broncos, which is a pretty good man linebacker. Pretty good at covering the tight end and covering the running backs out the backfield. That's going to be good to go. We're going to see how that matchup works out. And of all things, I think Cam will get a lot of offside penalties because his cadence is on point. He fooled a lot of people with his cadences. You look back through, even when he first came in the league 5 years ago, he's good at getting guys jumping off sides. I don't know where he perfected that at because I didn't see that at Auburn. Maybe because Auburn didn't give him opportunity to do that. But he's pretty good on that. I guess Mike Shula didn't help bring that out of him because Shula was a pretty decent college quarterback. And he's been a pretty good, decent offensive coordinator also. I don't know if that's Cam or that's Shula. But also the matchup with him designing those plays against the defensive coordinator and Wade Phillips. So that's a matchup nobody's talking about. Mike Shula going against Wade Phillips' defense. I think that's going to be a key matchup that we're going to have to see also. Because he's going to have to put Cam in position to make those plays. And we're going to see is Phillips going to be able to put Miller and Ware in position to make those plays. Because I don't think you can just rush on every play because they're going to get wore out by the fourth quarter. So some of them guys are going to have to drop back in coverage. And we're going to have to see. What's up, Swole?
What's up?
What's going on, man?
I'm good. I'm sorry to barge in.
What we got going on?
Go Panthers. Just this Sunday, that's it.
Just this Sunday?
That's all I'm just rooting for them this Sunday. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Can't be a bandwagon, man.
I'm an Eagles fan. I'm just rooting for the Panthers on Sunday. That's it.
Any particular reason why?
I like Cam.
That's what it is?
Yeah. I'm not an Auburn fan. Don't get that twisted. I do like Cam, though, because, you know, he's just a good dude, man. Like, what he does, giving people, you know, game balls and giving them to kids and everything and talking to the kids before games, that's nice.
And people are complaining about that. About how he get the balls away to the kids.
Y'all need to grow up and get lives then. I'm so serious.
Yeah. You got a couple females that's been talking about that. The lady in Nashville. You heard about that one?
I heard.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
We talking about the key matches up for the game, though, man. Olsen
is against...
I don't see him breaking 100 yards this game.
I don't either. I think it's Olsen versus... Is it Trevathan?
Is either Trevathan or Brandon Marshall.
Mm.
The other Brandon Marshall.
The other Brandon Marshall. I'm going... The biggest matchup in the game is going to be... Jonathan Stewart got to get something going. That's a big thing. That's huge.
I think, and I just said, I think the biggest matchup of the game is Wade Phillips versus Mike Shula. The play calling.
Yeah, absolutely.
How the play calling goes is going to determine a lot of things.
I don't think it's going to be that different than it usually is. I think it's just going to be kind of, you know.
I think because the Panthers are such a balanced team
Mm-hmm.
that Denver's strength is the defense and the secondary. They got the best secondary in the league.
Yeah.
But how many times Cam going to throw the ball? He know that.
Cam's not going to throw more than 40 times to me. I don't see him throwing.
No. If he had to throw 40 times, that means they're going to lose because they fighting from behind. I don't see him throwing more than 25 times.
This and I hate it's. I know it's extremely difficult to predict this or anything. Does anybody get hurt? I will say this. What scares me is the fact that Thomas Davis is playing.
I don't think he's going to play the whole game.
He broke his arm.
I mean, you actually get Allen also hurt. Jared Allen is also hurt.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play.
Yeah, he's playing.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
So you got one guy with a broken arm, one guy with a broken foot.
And they playing.
Veterans that are playing.
So, I shall be back.
The Panthers, I think they get out to a fast start, man. History has shown that this year in particular that they the fastest team in the NFL to get out to starts. They get big leads and have you trying to play catch up, and their defense just pin their ears back and just attack. Kuechly and Davis are probably the best two inside linebackers in the game. Thomas Davis, man, is a great player. He's finally starting to get his recognition. Unfortunately, he broke his arm, so he's not going to be at full strength. But I think he still is going to be dominant on the field for the times he get in and play have a couple possessions that he's going to be able to play in. And Kuechly is just a beast. He's the only guy in NFL history, and I repeat that, NFL history to have back-to-back games in the playoffs where he had an interception for a touchdown. That's never had happened before. Never. So that defense, man, and then along with that, I want to say that 4 of the guys in the secondary have had interception return for touchdowns this year. I know Norman has, Kuechly, Davis, and Michael, who came from the Eagles, has. So it's a stingy defense, especially in the secondary. It's a very stingy defense, so it's going to be very tough to see Denver passing game, or even running game for that matter, be able to just put up yards on this defense. I don't think Denver can score more than 21 points, honestly, so they're going to have to keep it close. Even if they just pound the ball and don't get yards, but just keep the possessions and keep the chains moving. They're going to have to find a way to do that. But they do have a shot. Like I said, I'm picking the Panthers. But the key matchup for Denver, man, is offensively is get the ball out of Peyton's hand very quickly. Because if you hold on to that ball, Mario Addison, Jared Allen, Ely, Short, those guys are coming. I mean, because Carson Palmer this year in particular played better than Manning, and they was in the backfield with him just about every play. You can argue that the Panthers match up with Denver pretty well offensively against defense, but I think that they match up very well for the simple fact that Denver don't even have a running game. I mean, I can't even name the running backs. I mean, I know who they are, but who are they? They haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher in years. And Thomas been inconsistent with dropping balls. Sanders already coming out talking trash to Josh Norman. They got into it yesterday. He was saying Norman is all hype. Sanders was saying that Norman is all hype, and Norman kind of talked back and was saying like, well, Sanders is a person who is built up on what Peyton Manning has done, because that's the reason why Pittsburgh let him go. But I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I think that Sanders is a good player, and I think it'll be a good matchup, but I don't think that those two players are going to match up, because I think Demaryius Thomas, I think you're going to have Norman on Thomas. So we're going to see. You see how Thomas, man, been getting all these drops lately, the last couple games?
Demaryius?
Yes.
Yes, I have. And I don't know if that's something to worry about, but, you know. Because, I mean, Demaryius has consistently been one of the top 10 wide receivers in the NFL. But I wonder if that has anything to do with who's throwing him the ball.
Yeah, but he was pretty good when Tebow was there also.
Yeah, he was. I don't know.
He's okay.
He's okay.
He's an okay receiver. He might not even be top 10 this year. Honestly.
Can you name me 10 receivers better than Demaryius Thomas?
Can I name you 10 receivers better than Demaryius Thomas?
Yeah, let's go on and get the obvious ones out the way. Julio, Antonio Brown.
Julio, Antonio Brown. You have Hopkins of Texas.
Yeah.
You have T.Y. Hill. A.J. Green. You have... So I had to go by teams. Because I look at the teams, and then that's how I can add each receiver.
Got you.
Brandon Marshall.
Yeah.
Megatron.
Yeah.
What's the guy that left Seattle with Megatron now?
Golden Tate.
Yes.
No.
Yes. The last 2 years, he's been better than Thomas.
What about...
His stats show that.
You could say Allen Robinson from Jacksonville.
I heard. Heard too.
Hearns? No.
Hearns been playing good, man.
He's not better than Demaryius Thomas.
His stats this year said he was.
I don't know.
So you can't go on them stats, huh?
I need to get your opinion about something, Rickey D.
That was 9 players right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't even mention Amari Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, Demaryius he done fell off a lot, man.
I don't think it's that he fell off. I think it's that Emmanuel Sanders just stepped up. Emmanuel Sanders may be the best receiver on that team.
He the best. Emmanuel Sanders is arguably the best slot receiver in the game right now. He really is. Slot receiver.
I thought he was number 2 receiver, though.
But he played from the slot.
Okay.
He's a 2 receiver, he played from the slot.
I understand that. That makes sense. Okay. Cool. I don't know, like, who's your MVP of the Super Bowl then? That's the question I have.
MVP of the Super Bowl. Huh. If I just had to name somebody off the bat, I got to go with Cam. But if it's not Cam, If it's not Cam, who's MVP, then I most definitely got to go with Norman or Kuechly. I got to go with defense. If it's not Cam with I'm picking Carolina to win.
Mm-hmm.
If it's somebody from Carolina, the 3 players I'm picking is Cam, Kuechly, Norman. But it's always gonna be somebody unexpectedly who make.
Yeah, there's
a big
always
play.
somebody. Last year it was Malcolm Butler. The year before it was Malcolm Smith for the Seahawks.
It was Butler, and if Seattle would have won, it would have been Matthews, the guy who was working in Foot Locker, the receiver.
Yeah,
He had over 100 and some yards,
Mm-hmm.
100+ yards.
Where
Came
is
out of
he
nowhere.
now?
Where we at?
They-
At home.
No, he ain't at home. What is he? He's like David Tyree.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know. If I had to pick somebody who's just like, if I'm picking somebody that's not, I guess a big pick or whatever, I'm picking probably Shaq Thompson. Shaq Thompson, the Philly Brown.
I'll pick those guys as far as making big plays.
Yeah, but I mean, it always happens in a big game, man.
Yeah,
like we saw
unexpected.
I mean, it happens in any football game. Like there's always somebody unexpected when it's a big game. Like for the national championship, we saw it was O.J. Howard for Alabama. For Clemson, it was what was his name? Renfro.
Yeah.
Hunter Renfro.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody you never think steps up.
Yeah, I totally agree. And for as on Denver end, who I think got a chance to win the MVP, I gotta go all defense. Because I don't see offensive players making a difference. I see defense having to put up all the scores for them.
If an offensive player, if it is an offensive player that wins MVP, it's gonna be C.J. Anderson.
They're going to give it to Peyton.
They're gonna give it to Peyton, like they gave it to Tom last year.
Yeah,
They
just
gave it to
Tom. Yeah.
Tom wasn't even. I mean, Tom had a good game and anything. What's his name was the MVP for real? Come on, Malcolm Butler.
And you don't want to get MVPs to one play, but that one play was determine the game.
That won them the game, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was the most valuable play made by the player, so it's got to be most. Yeah. It's definitely. It's gonna be legit this year. I'm excited.
We about to pay some bills right now, man. So check them out.
Chris, you got a kick.
C.C. Mosley.
C.C. Mosley.
R.E.A.I.G.
R.E.I.G.
R.E.A.I.G.
R.E.
Y'all gotta go follow my boy Chris, man.
Follow at C.C. Mosley, Mosley, R.E.A.I.G. That's on IG.
Bro, what you eating on?
And you gotta hit him up
full
on YouTube.
moon,
Check
man.
out some of the videos, man. He got some dope videos on YouTube, man.
Search for the same name, Chris.
Search for the same thing, man.
Yep.
Chris, you got a Bebo or a MySpace?
No.
Alright, then.
Man, I'm not dealing with no MySpace, man. We ain't talking about 30 years ago, man.
Whoa.
MySpace, come on.
Whoa.
Man. We're talking about MySpace, bro.
You don't have a MySpace?
Bro, I don't even think I ever got into MySpace. Seriously.
I have a MySpace.
Man, I ain't never
Follow
had
me
MySpace.
on MySpace, man. At We Tried. You know.
Come on, man. Check us out, Sports Show.
I also got a
on
Bebo,
Twitter,
by
man.
the way.
Are you serious?
What's wrong with Bebo?
Okay.
Bebo, Kick. What else do I do? Add me on LinkedIn. You know. I think that's about it.
Check me out, LinkedIn, Rickey D, 83. Check me out on IG, Rickey D, 83. I got some dope sneakers coming out, too, this weekend, man. I got some clean ones. You gonna like them. All red Valentine's Day. Get prepared.
Man, let's not talk about Valentine's Day, bro. I don't celebrate. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I will be going to Hooters,
Solo?
bringing my ex's picture,
Are you serious?
and getting
Please
my
tell
10
me.
free wings.
I know you stunned on me. I know you stunned on me, man. Come on. Are you serious?
Yo, 100 free wings ain't bad. I got like 10 pictures.
Hold on. So you bring your pictures?
If you bring a picture of your ex,
get
with
10
you
wings.
and your ex, they gonna shred the picture, you get 10 free wings.
Wow.
10 free boneless wings, bro.
Wow.
I don't know about you, man. I'm gonna be eating a lot of chicken that day.
Hooters are really trying to get customers, huh?
I don't understand why they do. Oh, wait. It's next Sunday. I thought Valentine's Day was this Sunday.
I mean, it's Super Bowl Sunday here. I mean, for all the guys, man, if it was Valentine's Day this weekend,
Yo,
ladies
10
would be upset unless it was tomorrow.
10
'Cause if it
wings.
was on Sunday, out of luck, nobody's moving from the
Yeah,
television tomorrow.
you can hear the arguments already.
Exactly.
Well, we're not gonna move in front of the TV for the All-Star game either, though.
Man, I move for the All-Star game.
Really?
I mean, who take the All-Star game seriously?
I kind of do. Not seriously, but I like it.
Man, I can actually T-Bow All-Star game, go back and watch it.
The Saturday night is more fun than the All-Star game, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
not gonna
I
even
agree.
Friday is fun too. ESPN, NBA does the All-Star weekend like the best, no question.
Yeah.
Better than the Pro Bowl. Better than
They had the best game for. They had the best All-Star game, the actual All-Star game.
yeah. Like, I mean, the whole process of it too is better than NFL's because I mean nobody watches the Pro Bowl anymore.
No. It should be
And-
just flag football, honestly.
And the All-Star game, MLB does All-Star game better than NFL does the Pro Bowl. And the only reason why is because people actually kind of play hard in the All-Star game in baseball. And the reason why is because there's actually stakes.
Yeah, because you win home field advantage for your
In
your conference.
in the World Series.
Yeah.
So that's important. The home run derby used kind of is born now
But when
because
you had
everybody
McGuire and
took
them, it was totally
steroids.
different.
Oh yeah. When Josh Hamilton did it, man. Josh Hamilton hit like 30 in a round once. And still lost.
I mean, you can't mention Josh, man. You see how he did his wife, man?
No, I honestly don't. What happened?
He just popped up and didn't even tell her that he was divorcing her.
Are you
I was
serious?
so serious. She had to find out, like, from somebody else.
Wow.
And she been there through thick and thin with him because, now I don't know what's going on, behind closed doors, but
Yeah.
Josh has been on a lot of drugs.
I mean, he owned up to that.
But he's been down through there. And for her to stick with him,
Through
through all that, it's
yeah.
like, come on, dude. Like, even
You
if
gotta let
do
her
it-
know.
Exactly. But, I mean, hey, that's how it
Speaking of
goes.
closed doors, man, I hate, a huge pet peeve of mine is when I see potential and, like, it goes to waste.
Johnny,
Manziel.
over.
Like, there's no way anybody picks him up.
I ain't gonna say I'm glad that it's over. I'm just tired of hearing the talk about Johnny. So I'm glad that the talk about Johnny is finna die down.
I hate it because, like, I mean, he was actually doing somewhat decent in, he was actually
Don't say
doing...
he was decent.
No, I mean, he wasn't bad for Cleveland this year.
Man, come on.
I mean, I'm not saying they won games or anything. I'm just saying,
You
he was their best quarterback.
You play the game to win.
But,
That's
I
it.
mean,
Bottom line. I don't care what you're doing.
what I honestly hope is, like, somebody comes out and says, with this whole Johnny Manziel, for those who don't know, Manziel, we has, like, some, I guess the word would be disturbing.
Mhm. They say it's alcohol, but clearly it's more than alcohol. with
It's
Johnny.
drugs,
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
There are reports going around that Johnny beat his ex-girlfriend.
I heard that. And it's multiple times also.
Drug her hair. Drug her by her hair.
And he's a little dude too, man.
Yeah. And I've heard, and another thing is, they say he threatened to kill both of them. That he said,
He got some
shut
serious
up
issues.
or I will kill both of us. Yeah, that's mental issues right there.
Yeah, seriously.
And we're also hearing reports that he, turned down rehab twice this week. Yeah, that ain't looking good.
Yeah, man. That ain't looking good. But I'm looking good. With the
Alright.
Panther blue on, with the black and red. Sports show about that, baby.
Sports show about nothing.
Before we get out of here, man,
Homage to Wale.
something that that's very dear to my heart is the Hall of Fame. Because it's so many guys I grew up watching
Yeah.
that I admire. That one day, as a little kid, I'm like, I want to be like this guy. One of my favorite quarterback all time, Dan Marino and Joe Montana. I'm like 50-50. But favorite player of all time,
Yeah.
T.O.
T.O.
And I think he is a
Don't they
first
vote?
ballot Hall of Famer.
In the vote, like
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, right?
It's tomorrow.
Who do you think? Who are the finalists? Can we look that up real quick?
The finalists. I know it's Favre. I know it's T.O.
Because we're actually waiting on, the Student's Choice Mix, which is coming up soon, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are listening. What? I'm trying to think. Pro Football Hall of Fame. Who are the finalists? I know. I remember last year when Sayal made it, they said in the room that it only took them like 7 minutes to deliberate on that.
I mean, honestly, what is the debate on T.O.? T.O. is one of the greatest.
But the thing
receivers.
about
He's top
it is-
5 ever.
Yeah, T.O. should be in. Is he
First ballot, yes.
First ballot?
Why
Okay.
not? Tell me why not.
I can't say no. I'm saying I want to see the other,
I mean, you got
Finalists.
Favre. You got Brett Favre.
Brett Favre should absolutely be.
What is going on? Why is it moving so slow here? What's going on?
I put Brett Favre over T.O. honestly right now,
I mean,
and the reason why
no.
I would.
No.
You want to know why? What does Brett Favre have that T.O. don't have?
Listen, okay, he got a ring, but this is what I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. At his position, it's more quarterbacks that's better than Brett Favre than it is wide receivers better than T.O.
Believe me when I say
T.O. is a top 5 receiver. Brett Favre is a top 10 quarterback. That's a
that's a good
different.
point. That is,
and that's what I'm saying. It's different when you talk about wide receivers of all time. You can't mention, you can't. The history of the NFL cannot be mentioned without Terrell Owens.
Okay.
You can mention Jerry Rice. You can mention Randy Moss. Top 2 ever. After that, you got to throw in Moss. I mean, you got to throw in T.O. You can mention top guys, quarterbacks.
Well, no, not
And I'm a Raider fan, so you can't. I ain't gonna lie. Tim Brown is not top 5. Tim Brown is top 10 of all time, but he's not a top 5 wide receiver. Not all the time. He didn't change the game. He made a big difference in the game during his period. But as far as just dominating and changing the game, no, he didn't do that. Favre, you can arguably say Favre changed the game, but like I said, when it comes to quarterbacks, I mean,
But who are the finalists?
you got Ezra James, which I feel like he's a Hall of Famer.
Not first ballot to me, but
Yeah, you can say he's not first ballot because out of 11 years he had about a good 6 or 7 years where he was just dominant. After that, he kind of fell off. But that's most running backs.
yeah, he was good way before I started watching football.
You got you got Steve Atwater, you got Kurt Warner.
Morton Anderson should be first ballot. Morton
Well,
Anderson.
he a kicker, man.
Yo, but when you got the most points in NFL history, you mean to tell me?
That count for something now.
Yeah, that got to count for
You
something.
got Orlando Pace. Orlando Pace arguably should be a first round.
Yeah, Orlando
first
Pace
ballot.
was legit.
Dominant. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You got Terrell Davis.
How long he been on the
He
ballot?
should have been in there though. TD should have been in there. Dungy.
Wasn't Dungy?
Dungy is questionable.
If
though.
I'm not mistaken, Dungy is the first black coach to win a Super Bowl. No.
He's the only coach, only black coach. Which
Really?
first.
Wow.
Head coach, yes. Well, no, I'm tripping. No, Tomlin. I'm sorry, Tomlin the second.
Tomlin,
Dungy 1, Tomlin 2. Yeah.
I was about to say.
But I mean,
That
you got
can't
John
be right.
Lynch, was a good a good free safety, but he is not a first ballot Hall of Famer at all by any stretch. Which I think he came up for election last year, so this is not his first year.
Okay.
But he still should be knocked down because I mean he wasn't just a dominant safety. He was just
So-
scared to go across the middle.
So the
That's
question I have is, how many people can be in this year?
It's only 7.
Only
It's
7?
5 active, and you have 2 that are like what's the word?
Legendary or something?
Yeah, that's older. And Ken Stabler gonna get that.
Mm-mm. Ken Stabler didn't have a good enough NFL career.
Are you what?
I'm just kidding.
Well, he put the Raiders on the map,
I'm
man.
kidding.
He was back then when John Madden was. Come on now.
I'm kidding.
But I think you're gonna
You
have
gotta
T.O.
put. You gotta put. To me, you gotta put Coryell in there, and you gotta. I feel like a personal. I feel some type of way about this. You gotta put Kurt Warner in there.
Kurt
You
Warner.
have to.
Why?
Not simply for the fact because he's just. And you'll probably be like, but that's not what the Hall of Fame is for. I'm not saying.
Was he with bagging groceries?
Yes, exactly. Kurt Warner is the greatest underdog story in the history of NFL football. He is. There is no way you can go
working
mean
at a
to tell
Hy-Vee,
me
bagging groceries
to NFL MVP. MVP.
Yeah.
And a Super Bowl winner.
Well, I remember you had Lewis down in New Orleans who used to run kickoffs and punt return with special teams. He used to drive beer trucks and Budweiser.
Still, man.
But you're right. He
You
wasn't
went-
MVP,
That dude
though.
went from he went from paper or plastic to
But he
NFL
okay.
MVP.
And you know what? I think he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. And he's not a first ballot Hall of Fame because clearly he came up last year, and they passed him up. But Kurt was so inconsistent. He had a good starting off 3 to 4 years. He was dominant, but that's when he had the greatest show on turf. Then he hit a lump.
Hey man, let's not act like
he fumbled
didn't
every time.
Let's not act like he didn't contribute to Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce's success.
Well,
He did.
Ozzie Bruce was already a dominant receiver before he even got there.
That's true. I'm not saying
The
that.
Reverend,
I'm
which
saying
he's up for the Hall of Fame also this year.
Isaac Bruce.
Yes.
He should be.
Yes.
He absolutely
He
should.
should be in there. And the question was, because it's 3 up. You got T.O., Marvin Harrison, and Isaac Bruce.
So,
T.O. done better than all three of them. If you had to take out the three, who would you pick?
Say it one more time.
Isaac Bruce, T.O., Marvin Harrison.
Shocker. You want
Don't say Marvin Harrison. That's an argument for the simple fact that you got
That's what I was
Richard
gonna say,
Wayne.
too.
I already knew you were going to say that. Because you said shocker. I said, hey. For the simple fact that Marvin Harrison, you can say Peyton Manning made him or he made Peyton Manning. But you had Richard Wayne on the other side, man. Who you can argue
But the
that
thing
he
about
was a Hall
it
of
is,
Fame
it's like
receiver
it's
also.
no question that Peyton Manning. I don't want to say Peyton Manning made him, but Peyton Manning pretty much made every wide receiver he's played. We saw how good he made. Well, let's see. We saw how good he made Eric Decker look. He's making Demaryius Thomas look legit.
Yeah, that's true.
You remember what he had? Who were the dudes he had? I feel like if you like a wide receiver and a quarterback makes you look good, you owe them like a check, like percentage of the check.
Yeah.
James Jones still owes Aaron Rodgers some. Wes Welker still owes Tom Brady. And to me, what's my man's name in Washington? Pierre Garçon owes Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Pierre
he got him
Garçon-
paid in Washington.
Yeah, he got him paid.
In Washington, yeah. Well, man, it's been fun.
It's been real fun, man. Thanks for having me.
Man, Super Bowl Sunday, man. Like I said, T.O. going to the Hall of Fame. Shout out T.O., man. Alexander City, representing Alexander City, Alabama.
Alabama.
Chattanooga. So we hope you get in, man. It's been a great show. Like I said, you'll listen to the sports show about nothing. See you next week.
See ya.
Panthers, before I get out of here, 23-20.
What did I say? 24-13?
23-20 Panthers.
Okay. We'll see.
MVP Cam Newton.
All right, man. We out.